There are massive AAA games and tiny indie gems, but in between lies the sweet spot: AA games. Backed by decent budgets and some marketing, they may not have 100-hour campaigns or Hollywood actors, but they deliver solid, focused, and fun experiences. Today, we're diving into 15 recent AA games that absolutely spoiled us. Let's get into it.
I have formulated a plan on how we may better ourselves for the fight ahead.
Kicking things off at number 15, we have MechWarrior 5 Clans. Alright, MechWarrior fanatics, lean in close. MechWarrior 5 has always been a blast, right? Pure mech mayhem. But if we're honest, it sometimes lacked that truly solid, structured campaign. Well, this standalone expansion, MechWarrior 5 Clans, isn't just an add-on, it is the campaign we've been craving. Easily the best MechWarrior experience since the legendary MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. Now, given the series' history, you might expect something a bit bare bones production-wise. Nope, they went all out. We're talking cinematic cutscenes, tons of dialogue, and elaborate, genuinely interesting missions. It's even more impressive when you remember they're working with a more limited budget. Sure, the voice acting might occasionally be a tad shaky, we're talking maybe 7 out of 10 on some lines, but everything else is high quality, pure fun. The level design? Awesome. Cutscenes? Surprisingly well directed. And the story itself? Genuinely engaging. If you play one MechWarrior game from the last 2 decades, make it this one. Seriously.
Feel space sick, get to the med bay and ask for some promethazine.
Next up at number 14, RoboCop Rogue City. Okay, full disclosure, I'm a massive RoboCop fan. Like, I'd try to sneak him into every video if I could, but honestly, for us RoboCop diehards, Rogue City is pure, unadulterated perfection. Is there a lot of talking for a game that should be non-stop criminal blasting? Yeah, maybe 40% dialogue, 60% action. But when this game is on, it's gloriously on. And graphically, it looks incredible for an AA title. Huge, massive credit to the developers for bringing back Peter Weller as RoboCop himself. He is absolutely pitch perfect, delivering those iconic lines like he never left. And when you're in the thick of it, gunning down bad guys, so satisfying. The combat is simple, yes, but that's the point. You're RoboCop, a walking tank who can soak up massive amounts of damage, making every encounter feel like a glorious shooting gallery. They even managed to cleverly shake up that simplicity throughout the game to keep things fresh. The locations are practically photorealistic, the gore is awesome in a satisfying action movie way, and the destruction is incredibly cool. Seriously, if you love RoboCop and haven't played this, what are you even doing with your life? Go play it!
Look out! It's RoboCop! Get cover!
Has been detected. Shit, they're coming out in droves. Damn invaders, leave already.
At number 13, prepare for absolute chaos with Earth Defense Force 6. Is EDF6 technically AA? Honestly, the categories blur when a game is this absurdly, hysterically entertaining. The Earth Defense Force series just keeps chugging along, delivering increasingly over-the-top games that are somehow both fundamentally the same and yet gloriously more. Gameplay-wise, EDF6 isn't far off from the first EDF game from way back when, which is a testament to how utterly satisfying that core loop is. There's truly nothing quite like blasting swarms of thousands of giant bugs and alien freaks on a massive battlefield. And this game, it boasts some of the biggest, craziest alien battles yet. Plus, get this, there's a plot this time, and it is truly, gloriously insane. It's mostly background noise to the 99% explosions happening around you, but the bizarre delivery of some of the most outlandish dialogue you've ever heard is uniquely hilarious. EDF games are a low-budget, charmingly chaotic experience that understand exactly what they are: pure, unadulterated fun. This newest installment is right up there with the best, and it's definitely the longest, boasting over 140 missions to keep you busy for, well, a very long time.
This mission and defending this planet. Teach those things not to mess with the human race.
EDF! EDF!
Next up at number 12, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. Don't let the name fool you. This toy-based racing game might sound like a bargain bin tie-in, but Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged is genuinely, surprisingly fun and significantly improves on its already surprisingly great predecessor. It's still a blisteringly fast racer where you zip around as tiny cars on impossible, gravity-defying tracks. But now, the level design is far more interesting and diverse, and the vehicles feel much more unique in how they handle. The first game was a blast, but let's be real, the maps could sometimes blend together. This sequel solves that brilliantly with stages set in a museum, a gas station, and an arcade, adding fantastic visual variety and more interesting hazards like giant pinball machines or rolling donuts. It's just a simple, all-around blast of a game.
I am proud of all my children. Out of a world of ruins, they have built a new Jerusalem.
At number 11, the Talos Principle 2. The original Talos Principle was a truly bizarre yet brilliant anomaly, a philosophical puzzle game from the minds behind Serious Sam. Talk about a genre pivot. But what's truly incredible about both the original and now the sequel is their sheer solidity. They masterfully blend complex philosophical ideas with mist-like exploration through serene yet unsettling environments, all underpinned by genuinely good, solid puzzle solving. The sequel is grander in scope with a deeper focus on story and lore, but this doesn't detract from the puzzles, which remain excellent. It even irons out some of the first game's more frustrating elements, making it a bit more accessible for newcomers. And for those craving a real challenge, the DLC for Talos Principle 2 is significantly harder. The excellently designed puzzles are the absolute core here, and there are a lot of them. This isn't a short game. It'll keep you busy for ages, taking in the sights, pondering the meaning of existence, and, of course, pointing lasers around. Expect at least 25 to 30 hours for a main playthrough, easily more for completionists.
The truth is the only foundation a future can be built upon. Good luck, 1K. This is the turning point. The paradigm shift I've been waiting for. We have to go.
It had to be done.
Next up at number 10, Alien's Dark Descen. Combining the terrifying universe of Alien with XCOM-style real-time combat sounds like it could either be genius or a total disaster. Thankfully, Alien's Dark Descent turned out to be absolutely awesome. This is a truly impressive action RTS where you command a squad of 4 through massive abandoned locations, scavenging for resources, completing objectives, avoiding xenomorphs when possible, and engaging them only when absolutely necessary. It gets desperate fast. 1 minute you're living out your Space Marine power fantasy, mowing down swarms of aliens when fully stocked. The next, your resources are dwindling, your soldiers are cracking under pressure, a mechanic you actually have to manage, and things spiral out of control. There's a real risk-reward element. You want to maximize your time in each location, but never overextend your precious crew. The gameplay is fantastic, but it's the presentation that truly sells it. It looks incredible for a top-down game with highly detailed environments and a surprisingly compelling story that kept me hooked for its 20 to 25 hour campaign. If you love alien and tactical games, this one absolutely deserves your attention. It flew under far too many radars.
Shut the door! Shut the door!
But those times are long gone. Only fools and devils walk that waste where devilry is done.
At number 9, Atomfall. This Rebellion-developed first-person shooter feels like a British Fallout meets BioShock, but it carves out its own unique, fascinating path. Instead of just endless questing and combat, Atomfall emphasizes investigation and exploration, which is what makes it so compelling. Every piece of dialogue you hear and every note you find adds a crucial clue to your investigation board, creating a more organic, natural-feeling progression. There's no invisible wall stopping you. If you're smart or playing through a second time, you can literally beeline to relevant areas and skip large chunks of the game. In an era of bloated, overly long games, it's incredibly refreshing to have something you can tailor to your time commitment. There's no filler, dialogues are concise, and the world is broken into smaller, dense, manageable zones packed with places to explore. It's not a massive game, you can finish it in about 10 to 15 hours, but that's its strength. It cuts the fat many games rely on, and it's better for it. While the combat isn't its strongest suit, it's perfectly serviceable. Overall, it's a solid game worth checking out if you fancy a surprisingly nice vacation to the irradiated English countryside.
Lie round the wicked isle. Art thou fool or devil, to stop there for a while?
Next up at number 8, South of Midnight. Despite being backed by Xbox Game Studios, South of Midnight just feels like a quintessential AA game in the best possible way. It's story-based, linear for the most part, with simple third-person combat, a touch of wall climbing, and very light platforming. It's just a good, old-fashioned video game, and it's surprisingly good for its scale. The story and vibes are utterly charming, steeped in Southern Gothic folklore and delivered with a unique visual flair. Controls are simple and responsive, and once you unlock all your baseline powers, simply moving around the world is pure fun. Don't expect Platinum Games level combat. The combat can be a bit annoying at times, but thankfully encounters aren't overly frequent, striking a good balance between gameplay styles. The real standout though is the presentation. The visuals and graphics are fantastic for a game clearly working with a modest budget. They accomplish so much with what they have, and the stop-motion-like animation gives the whole experience a wonderfully scrappy yet endearing energy. While not perfect, it's a cool game with unique flair that's definitely worth a look for its 8 to 10 hour journey.
What the hell?
Hurry up! Jump! It's going to! We gotta get out of here! There's only one man. I don't care.
At number 7, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Now this one was a genuinely pleasant surprise. After the absolute disaster that was the last numbered Dynasty Warriors game, which tried and failed spectacularly to go open world, Origins gets back to basics. It brings back the classic mission structure and introduces a host of much needed improvements. You play as just one character, which might initially disappoint series veterans, but this tighter focus allows for a more long-form story told across a charming overworld map between battles. The true game changer, however, is the combat itself. It's more complex, interesting, and far more responsive. It feels practically like a Devil May Cry game now, but still delivers that pure Dynasty Warriors power fantasy of mowing down hundreds of enemies. The big difference? Officers and bosses are now genuinely fun and challenging to fight, not just annoying roadblocks. Simply put, it's a more polished, more fun Dynasty Warriors, and arguably the best the series has seen in years. Even if you only have a passing interest in these games, it's well worth checking out for its surprisingly meaty 15 to 20 hour campaign.
This isn't over yet. Watch out. Spectre possession.
Next up at number 6, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. This game feels perfectly, properly nested in the AA category, from its presentation to its gameplay. It's Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, and in this case, it's actually a little better and more accomplished than you might first expect. The core gimmick is its split protagonist mechanic, where you play as both a grizzled ghost hunter and his deceased ghost hunting wife, switching between them on the fly. This isn't just for exploration, but also for combat, which some have viewed negatively, but many find it pretty fun once you get the hang of it. While it might look like a linear, story-driven experience, Banishers is actually a pretty large RPG with big environments to explore, tons of quests, side quests, and NPCs you can talk to for hours. The writing is another strong element, especially the haunting investigation missions where you gather clues, talk to people, and then decide how to banish the ghost. This is one of those rare RPGs where you truly feel the consequences of your decisions. Most major quests force big choices that affect things in genuinely creative ways. While combat might be a sticking point for some, it's enjoyable, and you can always lower the difficulty. Story-wise, RPG mechanics, and dialogue-wise, it's absolutely a game worth checking out, offering easily 25 to 30 hours of content, much more if you do everything. At number 5, Lies of P. Lies of P stands out as one of the best Souls-likes of the last few years, and at its core, it pulsates with the proud, beating heart of something that doesn't quite feel AAA. These games live and die on their atmosphere and strong gameplay mechanics, and Lies of P nails both. The world is strangely fascinating, a dark, Belle Epoque-inspired take on Pinocchio. The enemy designs are both whimsical and grotesquely disturbing, and the combat mechanics are simply finely tuned. It offers a satisfying challenge without being as brutally difficult as something like the first Berserker Kazan. It consistently ramps up the difficulty, but mostly plays fair. It's just a well-made, cool game with fantastic vibes. It boasts all the usual strengths of the subgenre, while also feeling like its own truly unique creation. Look, it's no Bloodborne, few games are, but just being mentioned in the same breath as that legendary game says more than enough. Lies of P is great, offering around 30 to 40 hours of challenging gameplay.
We do.
Look where it got us.
Next up at number 4, Ghostrunner 2. This sequel might not be as groundbreaking as the first, but what it lacks in pure originality, it makes up for with sheer fun and variety. More enemies, more varied and interesting locations, and the brilliant addition of a motorcycle all do wonders to spice up what was already a blisteringly fast core gameplay loop. Combat here is still fast and brutal. One hit and you're dead. So quick reflexes and precision are your only path to survival. Imagine a sci-fi first-person Hotline Miami with parkour. Ghostrunner 2 adds a few features to make it slightly more forgiving, like a proper block button, but it also ratchets up the difficulty accordingly with bigger fights in more complex arenas, alongside more interesting and challenging boss fights. The real highlight, though, are those motorcycle levels. They are absolutely nuts in their speed and intensity. You truly have to see them to believe them. They're incredibly cool. And with the game being longer overall, around 10 to 12 hours for the main story, the occasional diversion into a puzzle-focused level is actually a welcome break rather than a drag as it sometimes felt in the first. Essentially, it's more but better. So if you loved Ghostrunner 1, the sequel is absolutely for you.
You ain't fit!
Before we reveal our final 3 games, if you're enjoying this deep dive into AA titles, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications for the latest videos. It really helps us keep bringing you more awesome gaming content.
If we die with vengeance on our lips!
At number 3, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. If there's any game that screams AA isn't dead, it's thriving. It's Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. This game was made on a budget less than half of Doom Eternal's. Yes, less than $25 million versus Doom Eternal's estimated $50 to $60 million plus, which, despite its incredible polish, marketing, and visual quality, firmly places it in the AA camp. The core gameplay loop itself is pure old-school bliss. Linear hack and slash and shoot, where you stomp through countless hallways, corridors, and arenas, smashing endless swarms of alien monsters. It's simple, incredibly satisfying, and it absolutely doesn't overstay its welcome. The inclusion of a packed-in multiplayer mode and co-op only enhances that old-school, simple game package feel. A straightforward campaign, around 8 to 10 hours, some cool multiplayer to keep you busy, and then you move on. What we really appreciate is that the developers are updating and adding new things, but they haven't designed a live service game meant to keep milking your wallet forever. It's a game you play, enjoy, and then move on from, and in an age dominated by forever games and 200-hour open-world behemoths, that is something to truly respect. Next up at number 2, Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. This God of War-like game started a little rough around the edges, and many wrote it off at release. But having played it, the unique world and fun gameplay mechanics make Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn potentially worth checking out, especially if you can grab it on sale. Basic combat can feel a bit stiff initially, but what makes this game genuinely interesting is its exploration and incredibly vertical world design, something you don't often see. Moving around is a joy. Jumping and gliding through the air across these very open, epic locations is truly cool. While the story and world building aren't its strongest points, the weird visual identity and the engaging mix of platforming, running, and monster slaying make it greater than the sum of its parts. It offers a solid 15 to 20 hours of content. Overall, it's just a fun little ride with some really unique elements. And finally at number 1, Still Wakes the Deep. This short-form horror experience won't take up much of your time. You can finish it in just a few hours, typically around 4 to 6 hours, but it delivers a real punch of quality. It's a genuine graphical showcase, looking almost unnervingly realistic with the right lighting, and even the character models are incredibly convincing, an area where many AA games often stumble. What truly makes Still Wakes the Deep stand out among other horror titles is its personality. This game exudes an authenticity that most games sorely lack. You can tell the developers are Scottish, as the voice acting and dialogue feel incredibly true to life in a way that's hard to replicate. This commitment to realism makes you genuinely care about the characters when everything inevitably goes wrong. As a horror game, it's not overwhelmingly terrifying in every moment, though it certainly has its chilling jump scares and deeply disturbing moments from the twisted monstrosities it throws at you. However, its straightforward mechanics and constant forward momentum prevent things from ever becoming too overwhelmingly scary or frustrating. It's well-paced, with forgiving checkpoints that prevent segments from getting tedious, and it wisely doesn't overstay its welcome. Just a solid, impactful title that proves AA can deliver AAA-level immersion. So there you have it, 15 recent AA games that truly deserve the spotlight. Did any stand out to you? Or got a favorite we didn't mention? Drop it in the comments. Your picks help others find great games. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming content. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.